Hey guys, welcome back for another brew day. I think I mentioned in my last video I was going to be doing another brew shortly. So yeah, here we are. I'm mashing in for a Irish Stout at 67 degrees, and it is based on a beer that I've tried a few times at a few bars around Auckland. It's the Murphy's Irish Stout on nitro, a fantastic beer. Pretty hard to get hold of, can't get hold of it in any bottle shops that I'm aware of, but I managed to find a recipe in this book here, Clone Brew's Recipes for 200 Commercial Beers. And then if I can do this with one hand, yep, here's the recipe here, Murphy's Irish Stout. So I base my recipe off this. I won't go over the one in the book here. So yeah, I've stayed fairly close to the grain bill, so I'm using 82% Gladfields Ale Malt, 8.2% light chocolate malt, 5.2% roasted barley, and 4.1% medium crystal. Now they do use cane sugar in their recipe, which personally I'm not a big fan of adding cane sugar to beers. It's already got the medium crystal in there for a little bit of sweetness. I don't want to add in any other sugars. Probably the main thing I've done with the grain bill is I've bumped up the chocolate malt to 8% from probably around about 5%. Just want to try and get a bit more chocolatey sort of coffee flavours in the stout. They use East Kent Goldings for a flavour hop, so I've got those here, and then they use an Irish ale yeast which I couldn't get hold of, so I've fallen back on my trusty SO4. I know it doesn't attenuate particularly low, but I'll still get it down to about 10-12, so I'm happy with that. So yeah, we'll carry on with the mash. It's just about done, and we'll be back with a few more clips. Okay, so the mash is finished. I'm just going to sparge with some 75-degree water here, just to get our pre-boil volume. The grains smell absolutely amazing. It's hard to beat the smell of mashed dark grains, so we'll carry on with this and we'll be back. Okay, so we're 15 minutes from the end of the boil, and I'm going to do my one and only hop addition. So I'm going to add in all 50 grams of the East Kent Goldings. That's going to give me my around 34-35 IBUs, and then we've got a Whirfloc in there as well. So we'll chuck that in, put the timer on, and we'll be back. Okay, so the boil is finished, and I'm just transferring the wort through the hop spider into the fermenter just to capture all that debris. So we'll carry on with this. I'll grab a hydro sample, we'll get the fermenter in the fridge, and we'll be back with a wrap up. Okay, so brew day is done and dusted. I've pitched the yeast, and we'll let that ferment at 18 degrees, and then we'll do the usual bump up at the end. But here's the hydro sample. So the brew day went well, no dramas. So it's a very dark brown in the tube there. I know the tube's very thin, and in the finished beer in the glass is probably going to be a lot darker than that. But yeah, looking good. All the proteins and etc. have all dropped out of suspension, so thanks to the Whirfloc. So we'll just have a taste, check out our taste and the bitterness. So I was aiming for about 35 IBUs in keeping with the recipe, so I think we're in that general ballpark. Even though the taste of the hydro sample isn't really indicative of the finished beer, there are some nice sort of chocolate, coffee and roast notes coming through, so hopefully all that transfers into the finished beer. Original gravity is 1042, so if it gets down to 1010, 1012, we should be looking at about a 4% beer, which will be good, sort of in keeping with the recipe. So yeah, really looking forward to how this turns out. So yeah, this is, as I said at the start of the video, it's a recipe from the Clone Brews recipes for 200 commercial beers. And there, the Murphy's Irish Stout. So I've actually decided to call it Murph's Irish Stout, or Murph's Stout. Murph's is what we call people Murphy over here in New Zealand and Australia. So yeah, Murph's Stout. Yeah, a very good book if you're looking for some inspiration. The layout's a bit messy. They've got some of the grains up here, and then they say if you're doing all grain down the bottom to substitute some things, and so this is, yeah, it's a little bit messy, but it's got everything you need there in the layout, and like I say, it's good inspiration. All the recipes are in the corner there. It's got the style, so English ales, amber and dark lager, pilsner, light lager, and then stouts, IPAs, wheat, Belgian and French. So yeah, if you're looking for another recipe book, this is pretty good. I've definitely used it for either brewing some recipes as is from the book, or just using it for inspiration. So okay guys, thanks for watching. We will see you in a couple of weeks, I guess, once the beer's ready to drink. Over and out. Enjoy your weekend and catch you later. Cheers.